So we're going to get started today. Right. For our agenda, we're going to begin by having an introduction of our HCDD director and outreach staff. That is the team that put this event on. Also, we will have a mini commercial telling you more about our fair housing hotline. And then we will have our presenters, introduction of each presenter that we have. The first person that organization that will be coming up is Southeast Texas Housing Finance Corporation, SET. Then we will have Agape Development. And then we will bring up City of Baytown. And last but not least, we will have the City of Houston. Then we will bring to you the upcoming events that we have going on with the outreach team, and then final remarks. Now we will have our fair housing hotline. This is Tom McCaslin, our HCDD director, and I believe that he would say the same sentiments that I am telling you now. We welcome you into our event. We thank you so much for taking out your evening to spend and learn about our program as well as other programs that are out there to support you during this time of your first time home buyer. So now I will introduce the outreach staff. First, we have our administrative manager, which is Onika Porter. Then you will have myself. I am the community involvement coordinator, Latasha Smith. And then to introduce our three excellent community liaisons, we have Mr. Pedro Sosa, Becky Benitez, and Deja Jones. Now we will have our fair housing hotline commercial. If you have not muted your audio, please do so now. Thank you. First, I would like to thank all the presenters beforehand for all the information that they're going to give today. I want you to be open to receive this information. First on our list is Miss Rhonda Mitchell. She is the Director of Homeownership Program for Southeast Texas Housing Finance Corporation, SET. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hand this over to Miss Rhonda Mitchell.
And I am Rhonda Mitchell. I'm with SET, Southeast Texas Housing, and I am going to talk to you about some programs that we have available to help you purchase a home. The first program I am going to talk about, and that is going to be our oldest program, is going to be our 5-star program. And our 5-star program has remained continually funded since 2012. So right away, and I thank y'all so much for being on this call, and I appreciate being invited to share all this great information. But the first thing I want you to take away with these programs is a lot of times there's myths out there, and sometimes a myth is these programs are out of funds. And for the SET 5-star program, I want you to know that is not true. Our 5-star program, again, has remained continually funded since 2012. In fact, here not much longer, we'll have a 10-year birthday for the program. So 5-star, it provides down payment and closing cost assistance, as well as a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. You don't even need to be a first-time home buyer to use our program. You will need to take the SET online homebuyer education class, and we really believe that homebuyer education makes for a very strong, very successful homeowner. COVID came along, right? Kind of caught us all by surprise. Nobody expected this, and I thank y'all so much for being able to share this with the webinar. I know we'd love to be live, and one day, not too much longer, I'm sure we will be. But COVID came along and kind of surprised us all. And I know there's been a lot in the news about forbearance and people not being able to make their house payment and how to work out these issues, with your servicer for the homeowners, I'm sorry. But nationally, They've released the figures for people coming out of forbearance and coming out of forbearance with no plan. So a lot of people that went into forbearance, they worked with their servicers and they have plans in place of how to make up those payments. But there's a group of homeowners, right, that didn't have a plan. They didn't communicate with their servicer. They just stopped making their payments. And I believe I heard that number was about like 9%. So 9% of the home buyers coming out of forbearance have no plan. So of course, when you hear no plan, you think, these are going to be some foreclosures for sure. We think that homebuyer education, that knowledge that we impart on our homeowners is so incredibly powerful, and it makes these homeowners not only more successful, but they understand a little bit more about the process, and they're more likely to communicate with their servicer when they do have issues. And we have our figures for home buyers that are coming out of forbearance with no plan. Again, these are going to be the homeowners that didn't communicate with their servicer. We only have 2% of our home buyers using our 5-star and our Gold Star programs have not communicated during forbearance. Again, we don't want to see anybody, but you'll see that nationally, when you compare our numbers to those numbers nationally, our numbers are so much smaller. And that is, that homebuyer education that's required with these programs. It really makes for that strong homeowner. And a lot of times people will say, working with these programs, right, these lower income and they're getting down payment assistance, they're more likely to default. And I wanted to tell you all, we see the opposite. We see that we're creating really strong, successful homeowners for our communities. So with 5-star, home's going to be located in the state of Texas, except for Travis County and the cities of El Paso, Grand Prairie, and McKinney. For those of us on the call, though, that's going to mean that our 5-star program is available just as far as you can see. So we've got lots of opportunities here. The program does provide down payment and closing cost assistance of up to 5% of your loan amount. So you're talking loan amount, if your loan amount was, say, $100,000, 5% of that would be $5,000. And those would be funds that you could use for down payment and or closing costs, however you need it applied. Maximum sales price, and that's going to vary across the state, but for our area around here, be $356,000 and some change. You're looking at a $484,000 max purchase price for other loan types. And so again, when we talk about these maximum sales prices, they seem pretty high. So you want you to keep in mind that this is really more about the home that you're going to be affording to purchase. So you're looking at your income, your debts, in order to decide what what purchase price best fits your family's needs. But with us, these maximum sales prices, they are nice and high. That allows you that opportunity to find, again, that house that fits your family's budget. 30-year fixed rate mortgages are available, and it's going to be FHA, VA, USDA, and we've got conventional options as well. When you're working with our conventional options, for our lower income home buyers, we have free home buyer education and reduced mortgage insurance. And the reduced mortgage insurance just allows that mortgage payment to be even more affordable for our lower income home buyers. You do need to qualify for a mortgage loan with a participating program lender. And I do have a very long lender list at seth5star.com. And we're talking about being income eligible. These income limits, these are not based on family size or family income. So we are looking at income on the 1003 or income on the loan application, the way the lender determines it. So the lender is going to use the same calculation method they would use for any mortgage loan. And if we're looking at an FHA loan, for example, FHA, we're going to pick on Harris County. You're doing an FHA loan in Harris County, maximum income is $91,080. Remember, that doesn't matter the family size, family of 1, family of 5, it's the income, the income. If we're looking for our super special conventional options with charter level income limits, and these are lower income limits, and they have those extra benefits like the reduced mortgage insurance, free home buyer education. Harris County, you're looking at a maximum income of $63,840. And we've even got income limits, what we call our expanded income limits. Our expanded income limits, they're much higher. They don't have some of the perks like the free home buyer education and the reduced mortgage insurance, but they allow home buyers, right, that exceed these other income limits to still have an opportunity for down payment and closing cost assistance. And you'll see our conventional expanded income limits go up to $111,000, right? $111,720. So that's annual income, of course. And if you want more information, and I hope you have your phones out, you will get a copy of this presentation after training today. But you can scan and you can be directed directly to the seth5star.com website there. So if you do have your phone out, be sure and use that QR code there. And you can go directly to the seth5star.com website. But as I say, I'll tell you, I sound like a Ginsu knife commercial because I'll say, but wait, there's more. And, why have just one program? Because, one size doesn't quite fit all, right? So we have a newer program, and this program has been out since 2017. And that is going to be our Seth Gold Star program. And there's a lot of things that will be very similar between 5-star and Gold Star. And that's going to be things like income limits, purchase price limits, the location of the home, right? Available in the state of Texas, except for just a couple of areas. So those things are going to be the same between programs, but what's the difference between these programs? So Gold Star, right? Gold Star takes these options, and we've got a little longer forgiveness term. So with 5-star, you've got grant options. Grants are a gift, right? No strings attached, just a gift. And we've got 3-year forgivable second lien. So after 3 years, 3 short years, right? You're 100% forgiven. So should you sell or refinance, more power to you. But with these second liens, right, if you do sell or refinance within that lien period, you may have to repay some of the assistance. Gold Star took those second liens, and we said, what if we made the second liens just a little bit longer, and we were able to generate a little more assistance that way? And so with the Gold Star program, you'll see that we've got some opportunities for some longer forgiveness periods. And Gold Star has some 7- and 10-year forgiveness options. And what it does with that longer forgiveness, that gives us the ability to generate even more assistance. So with Gold Star, we'll go up to 7 points of assistance. And you'll see on that example there, if your loan amount was $200,000, 7% of that would be $14,000. And that would again be money that you could use for down payment and closing costs. So working with these programs, I say it's almost like a big Rubik's Cube, You're trying to find that best fit for your family. So is your family sensitive to that recapture provision? Like, maybe I want to do a grant, or I want something really short. Maybe 5-star would be more your speed. But if you're like, what, no, I'm going to be in this house for a long time. I know it. I want the most assistance, right? And I'm willing to exchange that for a longer forgiveness period. Then Gold Star could be definitely an option for you. Gold Star is going to have options that go up forgiveness up to 7 and 10 year in those forgiveness. But remember, right? Mama always said forgiving others is good. So when we talk about these programs, 5-star and Gold Star, remember I kept saying forgive, forgive, forgive. You want to be sure that you understand the program that you're getting into. And if you're getting into a program that is going to require you to repay that assistance in the future or make payments on that assistance in the future, you want to be sure that you understand that. With Gold Star and 5-star, remember we said forgive, right? Because we say forgive, it's better to forgive. So we're going to forgive you for the assistance during those terms, whether it's the 3-year, the 7-year, the 10-year. In all of our forgiveness options, we're going to be forgiving you. There's no payments attached to the assistance. So no payment to be made on that second lien. We're going to forgive you. And at the end of those terms, you would be 100% forgiven. So should you sell or refinance at that point, right, then you wouldn't be repaying any of the assistance dollars. If you sell or refinance during those forgiveness periods, you may have to pay a portion of the assistance back. Whatever portion has not been forgiven would have to be repaid upon sale or refinance. So that is 5-star and Gold Star. So remember, working with, and one thing I would like to say though, is working with the program lender, right? So with Gold Star, you see I've got that QR code there, so you can jump over to the sethgoldstar.com website and take a look. We've got a lender list there as well. You're going to find, though, that a lot of these lenders do both programs. And so when you're working with that really experienced loan officer, I'm sorry? I think somebody may be unmuted, but if you do have a question, I'll be glad to take them or get them in that chat box there. But when you're working with these programs, you want to work with that experienced loan officer, someone that can go in and share these options with you and help you decide what's that best fit for your family. So again, working with that loan officer, right? Finding how these programs will fit together for you and be the best program that's, for your family's needs. But finally, right, I'm going to talk to you very quickly about one other program. And I tell you, I could spend hours talking about this next program. And that is going to be the MCC, or Mortgage Credit Certificate Program. And it is a tax credit. So it's a little different, right? I've got 5-star and Gold Star that are going to help you get in the house, right? Getting over that down payment hurdle, right? Get you at the closing table, get you some cash so that you can close on that home. But the MCC does it a little differently. An MCC, or Mortgage Credit Certificate Program, that's a tax credit. And you don't get it once, you don't get it twice, you get it every year while you're making your mortgage payment. And so it's a tax credit. So what it does is it helps make that home more affordable while you're making that mortgage payment. So I've got down payment, right, to get you into the house, and I've got the MCC to keep you in the house. And the MCC is going to do that with the use of those tax credit, maximum $2,000 tax credit. So an annual maximum tax credit of $2,000. Don't get it once, don't get it twice, you get it every year. And guys, the MCC program can be combined with 5-star or Gold Star, or you can get the MCC as a standalone option. You don't have to combine it with 5-star Gold Star. And what's best about this is it's free. There's a lot of MCC programs out there. They do charge for those. I mean, typically you'll find the MCC program fees are about $500 or $600. Our MCC program is completely free. There is a catch. I have limited program areas for my free MCC. So my MCC is not available everywhere. It is available very specific, very select areas. And I can definitely share those with you. I'm looking to see if they're on this slide, and they're not. That is going to be some counties surrounding Harris and Galveston. So if you're looking in Harris County, I do have Tomball, Pasadena, Deer Park, LaPorte. So think those smaller cities in Harris County. If you're looking in Galveston County, I've got the cities, all the cities in Galveston County with the exception of the city of Galveston itself. And then I've got some counties surrounding Harris and Galveston, like Brazoria, Austin, Chambers, Matagorda, Waller, Walker, Wharton, and Liberty County. So I've got some counties surrounding Harris and Galveston, and I've got some specific cities located within Harris and Galveston. And those are available for our free, right? Did I mention it was free? Our free Seth MCC, Mortgage Credit Certificate Program. Remember, you can combine MCC, whether it's my Seth or whether it's any MCC. You are welcome to combine those with 5-star and Gold Star. And I am going to wrap up here, and I am going to turn it back over to you.
All right, that was a lot of good information. We do have some questions, and we will remember we're going to answer all questions at the end. So go ahead and ponder some more questions up. And when you have one, just chat it down real quick, and we will make sure that we get the answer for you. So thank you, Ms. Rhonda, for all that information. Now, the next person that we have coming up, the next person that we have is Ms. Sosina Morgan. She is the Home Program Manager for Agape Development. So now I am going to stop presenting and give it right over to you, Ms. Morgan.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to get it set up so I can present. Awesome. So hi, everybody. My name is Susanna Morgan. I do work for Agape Development. I'm the housing program manager there, which means I help buyers go through the program from interested in owning a home all the way to getting to purchase the home. So the first thing I'd like to draw attention to is this is Agape Development's mission statement. At Agape Development, we are transforming our neighborhood by preparing Christ-following independent community leaders. So Agape is a nonprofit that's been in this community, the OST South Union neighborhood, for about 16 years and offers a ton of different services and programs to the individuals and families living in OST. We're seeing families that were being really impacted by the nonprofit and were amazing community leaders, and then having to move out because they were being displaced by the rising prices of inside the city. And so we started our affordable homes program to give people an option of being able to stay in the neighborhood that they feel connected to if that's something they're interested in. One question that we get a lot is, because we are a Christian nonprofit, do people have to be Christian to use our services or even to be a part of the affordable homes program? The answer is no. There is no religious requirement for our homes program, especially. So I just want to make sure that that is known to everybody. And this is the OST South Union neighborhood. This pin is where we're located at 6504 Calhoun Road. That's where our nonprofit center is located. And a lot of the homes that we're building are in this neighborhood as well. We have our first 8 homes being built here on the corner of Paris and Cosby Street. And so if you were to come by, you could see the neighborhood or even see our brand new construction on that corner. On the right, you'll see a picture. It's just a rendering of what some of the homes might look like as we are building the first 8 homes right now. And so our goal is to build 75 community designed homes in the next 3 years that will be safe, affordable, and attractive. This CDC was created to give the families in the community an affordable option to own a home. So like I shared, we have families and individuals who want to be able to stay inside the loop, and we want to make that an option for people. And so that's where the CDC came out of. One of the very first things that we did is we gathered families who are interested and individuals who are interested in buying or building a home in the neighborhood, and we asked them, what kind of homes do you want to see be designed? Like, how many bedrooms, and do you want a garage, and what about a backyard? And we talked through a lot of different design elements to kind of get a sense of what the community was looking for. So yes, the Agape Homes Affordable Program continues to explore the best way to achieve a low monthly mortgage amount that would be consistent with current rent levels for an equivalent home. So if you can afford to rent, you can afford to buy, is what we like to say. So we're looking at a mortgage and PITI and everything that goes into that being equivalent to if you were going to rent a home in our neighborhood of the same price. We have lots of different home options. We have 5 different floor plans currently, ranging from our smallest, which you see is 839 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, to our 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. We're also working on a 4-bedroom plan right now, and some other things as well. So we have something for everybody, and these homes are going to be built as they are as they're requested. And so if you're part of this program, you can specify which home you'd like built and even what it looks like on the outside and what, floors, walls, that kind of thing looks like as well. So we're building these homes from scratch. Yep, and here's an example. This is our most popular floor plan right now. So it's our 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom, and that's going to be about $1,100 a month when you consider mortgage and insurance and taxes and everything that goes into that. So we are selling these homes at cost, which means exactly what it costs to buy the materials and pay the workers who build it is how much we're selling it for. Agape is not making any money off of the homes. In fact, we have a down payment assistance, or not a down payment assistance, but we're taking a large chunk off of the homes as well, about $30,000, which I'll get to in a minute and talk about, off of the homes as well, to encourage people who want to stay in this community to be able to do so. And so that's how we can keep the prices about the equivalent of rent in this community as well. So each of the homes have garages, driveways, backyards. They're all on a standard size lot, so pretty typical. And yes, like I said before, you can pick your own colors and designs, and you can customize your home since it is being built specifically for you. So next is the program requirements. And so first, we are taking applications right now from OST, South Union, Sunnyside, or Third Ward residents. If you are not in one of those neighborhoods, please feel free to still email me. We're going to be opening up for applications all over Houston pretty soon, and so I don't want you to feel discouraged. That's coming up, it's just not right now. My email will be at the end of this presentation. But yes, so currently we're taking applications from people who are from that area or around that area for the reasons I shared earlier, to be able to give them an opportunity to not be displaced. Next requirement is that your income would be under 80% AMI. And so this is the one from 2020. And so you would look up your household size, and as long as you're making under the number that it coincides with, you would qualify for this program. So this is for low to moderate income families. We ask that this is a first-time home buyer program, which City of Houston defines as not having owned a home in the last 3 years. So we adopted that definition as well. So if you have not adopted a home in the last 3 years, you would qualify for this program. Be up to date on taxes. You must have income to afford the monthly expenses. And must show dedication to savings. So we're flexible on what that looks like. It can be a conversation, but either that's a certain amount that's put away every month consistently, or the total amount in a savings account that somebody has been saving. But we want to see that people are dedicated to their savings, so that, you know, the worst thing possible would be someone buys a house and then they're what we call house poor, where all of their income is going to the house and they don't have savings or room for emergencies or repairs or anything like that. So we like to see dedication to savings, and all of these things, taxes, finding better income or savings, are things that we can work with you within the program. You'll also have to qualify for a loan from conventional financing. So we don't actually do the financing at Agape, but we do have some bank partners that know about our program, love our program, that have been working with some of our buyers. And so most banks are going to be looking at your income, your debt to income ratio, and your credit score to see if you qualify for a loan. The credit score we're looking for is a 620. The next thing is we want everybody to create a will and testament, and there is a class that we have partnerships that we offer this class to be able to learn how to do that, and to even be paired with a lawyer pro bono to be able to help you come up with a will and testament. I'm sure many of you guys have heard stories, or maybe even personally been in a situation where unfortunately a loved one passes away and the house was expected to go to somebody, and it just gets all tied up in legal or family issues or whatever. And so we wanted to make sure that any of our buyers have that kind of stuff squared away. So this is a holistic program, part of our program. And then the next thing is that we ask that everyone must sign an agreement for a second lien or deed of trust. This prevents home flipping for 10 years. So similar to Ms. Rhonda, your presentation you were just talking about just now, we do, when we're selling the house, like I said, I take $30,000 off of the price of the house, and that is going to be part of this second lien and deed of trust. So if you live in the house for 10 years, that $30,000 is completely forgivable. You don't have to pay it back, and that's what we want to see. Is we want to see people who want to be in this community and make a long-term investment as a community leader here, and so that's why we put that on there. If you do move out of the house before the 10 years, some of that loan might be forgiven, but some of it might need to get paid back as you sell the house. And so our hope is that someone would buy the house, stay in it as long as possible, and it wouldn't be, you know, they buy the house and then flip it and sell it for, you know, because you could buy the house and then sell it the next day and make $30,000 off of it easily, or open it up as an Airbnb or something like that. We're trying to build community. Okay, and then the next requirement is we do have the Agape Homebuyer Training Program, which is several classes. I talked about the Will and Testament class, but there's some other ones as well that we ask everybody to take to get ready to be a homeowner. We also have a volunteering requirement because, like I have mentioned before, that we are a community development organization, and so one of the reasons that we are doing this program is to see people be a part of this community, be able to stay in the community. And so we have a volunteering requirement just to show commitment to the community, kind of as like collateral. So these are all things that you can work on while in the program. And that's something I want to make really clear. If you are not up to date on your taxes, or if your credit score is poor, or you don't have a will and testament, or any of the other requirements on this, if you do not fully qualify yet, that's okay. You can still fill out an application. You can still get on the list and be considered for one of these homes. It just means that while you're in the program, you're working towards those goals. And we have a ton of different ways at Agape to help people work towards those goals, and a lot of different volunteers who can help with taxes or help with credit score. We have a class that you can take if you're looking to improve your income, things like that. And so I definitely don't want to discourage anybody if you were listening and thought, oh, I don't, that part isn't for me. These are things that you can work on while you're in the program. Yep, and lastly, just wanted to make sure that you guys had our contact information. So that's my email. If you email me, I'll get back to you right away. And can send you our application or our info packet. Same thing if you call or text that number, you'll get right to me, and I can help you guys get any questions answered that you might have, or listen to any thoughts you might have about it. And then our website is agapedevelopment.org/housing, and that can give you the same information as well. Okay, I guess I will wait to take questions when we have question time. But thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Thank you for all that wonderful information. I didn't even know that you all were located in the Sunnyside area. So that is very good to know that you all are helping that area with new homes. I'm excited about that. We definitely gonna have to talk. So next we have the City of Baytown, and I'm excited about this because typically I get calls about different areas, and one of the areas that I recently got a call for was Baytown, about what opportunities is out there, and I reached out to them, and I am glad that they are present today. And from my understanding, we have Mr. Chris Chavez.
Yes, my name is Chris Chavez. I'm the Community Development Manager here at the City of Baytown. I am also joined here by Sharon Rose, who is the Community Development Generalist, and Louise Sanchez, who is our Community Development Specialist. We do have a home buyer program, and I believe that we are one of the more robust programs on the east side of the channel. We do only serve the citizens or people that are looking to build inside or occupy a home inside of the city limits of Baytown. So we do have some areas that are considered in our extraterritorial jurisdiction that have a Baytown address, but we cannot serve them. Our funds can only go to those properties that are located inside of the city limits. One of the things about this program is that we have a number of goals, of course, to promote safe and decent housing, showing a lot of growth and a lot of revitalization inside of these older parts of town. So that makes this program pretty instrumental in making the connection of affordability and filling that housing stock that we already have on the ground. $9,000 in down payment assistance or closing costs, and cover other miscellaneous fees that are associated with the purchase of the home. This program is also a 5-year forgivable loan. So essentially, you purchase the home, we put the down payment assistance, you have to stay in the home for the 5 years, and at that 5th year, that loan would be forgiven. Program requirements, as I stated before, you have to be inside of the city limits. One of the other things that we will want to mention in here is that you have to attend the home buyer education course. We feel like it's important that the home buyer is educated about what they're about to get themselves in. As stated assistance as well. Eligible properties in the city limits of Baytown, and also homes under $180,000. We are looking to update that value figure. We understand that the housing market has boomed a little bit between, 2019 and currently. So we are currently running the assessment. We have to go to city council to actually get that number amended. However, even with it being at $180,000, we've gone We recently adopted a new software system to make the application process very easy. And when I say very easy, we have currently, we launched this software in about 2 months ago. And we've seen a multitude of applicants apply through this program or through this software. And about 12 or so in the last couple months. But this software is very easy. You go on to the Baytown homepage, you click on Citizen Self-Service, and it'll basically walk you through the process. You'll go to the plan section, go to Homebuyer's Assistance, and it's a self-service system. So it's very intuitive, easy to read, etc. Now, if you need to have a phone call and you need to talk to someone, Mr. Luis Sanchez can help you out in the process, help you get through the application, make sure you got everything on the front end. And then he also can speak Spanish if the person or the applicant is more comfortable in speaking Spanish. And with that, that pretty much concludes our presentation. We'll wait for questions at the end. And thank you for allowing us to present.
All right, thank you so much, Chris, for that information. We have some questions, so we'll wait on to the end. Last but not least, and I must say I'm kind of biased because this is the city of Houston. We have Jeremiah Riviera here with us. He is a management analyst, I believe. I'm gonna say management analyst. I don't know what number you are. However, if you would just give him your undivided attention, and Jeremiah is in your hands. Okay, so what I will do while he's either coming back on, I will give you some information. Matter of fact, what we can do is Miss Morgan, do you mind if I ask you one of the questions that we have?
Sure.
All right. One of the questions says, how long does a person have to remain below the income maximum for your program? So I guess she's saying if once she get at one point she's below, and then maybe she get a raise.
Hi,
yes, that's a great question. So how we're looking at the AMI is based off of like your last tax return, right? For how much you made that previous year. So for your time of applying, what your previous year's tax return, if that has you under the 80% AMI, that's really what we're looking for. If you were to get a raise, we actually had this happen recently. If you were to get a raise, but we're still wanting to be in the program and it put you over the maximum, there is a chance that you could be, what we're calling like grandfathered in because of what your income was when you applied for the program.
Well, I believe we have Jeremiah back on. We just had a few little difficulties there. So now we have Jeremiah Rivera for the city of Houston. Thank you.
Hey everyone, just wanted to make sure you can see the screen that I'm sharing and that you can hear me. Latasha, can you just confirm that real quick for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you everyone, and appreciate your patience as we're hitting on the 7 o'clock hour. So as Latasha mentioned, I'm with the city of Houston, and we have a variety of down payment assistance programs, 5 to be exact. So I'm going to try to be brief and talk at a high level about each of those programs. And what we're looking at here is our down payment assistance homebuyer hub page. I'm about to put that link in the site for in the chat for everyone. And what this is a link to all of the programs that we offer here at the City of Houston in terms of down payment assistance. So I just put that in the link in the chat box. It's houstontx.gov/housing/homes. And so what I would like to do is, because we have so many programs, is just talk about them at a high level, and then talk about the things that make kind of the common foundations of all of them, and then point out the uniqueness of each one. And then you'll have the resource, which is the website here, to dive into further information, and of course our contact information if you would like to speak to any one of us here at the City of Houston. So with that said, before we talk about the individual programs themselves, there are a couple of things I want to just to level set with everyone. 4 questions really to ask yourself before you apply for any of our down payment assistance programs. Number 1 is, have you secured a realtor? And while that's not a requirement, we highly recommend that you do so. All of these programs are designed for first-time home buyers. And if you've been with us along the journey for throughout the 360 to home ownership journey, that can be a pretty complicated process. So as you know, so we highly recommend that you have a realtor secured before you begin the application process for any of the programs we're going to discuss. Number 2, have you taken the HUD 8-hour homebuyer education course? This is actually a requirement for all of our down payment assistance programs. And I'm about to put the link into the chat box for you. It will take you directly to the HUD page where you can search for the closest class to you. So these are classes that are HUD certified, that are offered by various organizations throughout the City of Houston. We ourselves do not teach this course, but these are all HUD certified courses. So you can search by location, you can search through a whole bunch of different filters that you can put in for whatever works best for you. Number 3, have you secured a fixed rate mortgage? So to apply for any of these programs, you must have been able to secure a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That's going to be one of the very first questions we ask of any of the for any of these programs. And then number 4, just keep in mind for these programs we're going to discuss, any home that you are shopping around for must be located within the City of Houston's limits. So the property that you ultimately purchase and make your future home must pay taxes to the City of Houston and Harris County. And this is one of those items that a realtor can help you out with if you have any questions on that, because they do have tools where they can very easily find out if the home you're looking at is located within the City of Houston. So that said, let's actually talk about our down payment assistance programs. So again, we're looking at this Homebuyer Hub page, and you're going to see a consistent format of each of these programs. So you'll see the name of the program, what it provides, very high level information about it, and then our income requirements for that program. And then a link here where it says learn more, and it'll take you to a dedicated web page for that particular down payment assistance program. So these first 2 programs, Harvey Homebuyer Assistance and Homebuyer Assistance, are very similar to one another. They both provide up to $30,000 in down payment assistance. You've heard the term forgivable second lien a few times before me. This is a $30,000 forgivable lien. So if you stay in the home for 5 years, that lien is completely forgiven and you will not pay $30,000 towards it. If you move out before 5 years, you only pay back the portion of the lien, depending on how long you were there. And this is more detailed out in the individual web pages. The big difference between these two programs is that the Harvey Homebuyer Assistance Program is for folks who lived in Houston during Hurricane Harvey. We just passed the 4-year anniversary of that, so August 25th, 2017. Or they are purchasing a first-time home. The other key thing I want to point out here, this is the only program that we have in the city of Houston for down payment assistance, where we can help with $30,000 or help with any assistance if you make up to 120% area median income, which, and I moved a little bit quick there. On the top right of this page, we have a link to a table that details that. So for example, for a family of 4, you can see 120% AMI for area median income is $95,050. For 80% area median income, which is our other programs, you'll be looking at income eligibility cap at $63,350. So that, as you can see, is a huge difference. So that at a high level is the Harvey Homebuyer Assistance Program. The big difference between that and the regular Homebuyer Assistance Program is that you did not have to live in Houston during Hurricane Harvey, and it's only up to 80% area median income. Now, if you have any confusion about any of these two programs because they are so similar, I recommend that you apply for the Harvey Homebuyer Assistance Program, and our eligibility team will work with you to let you know which of the two you are eligible for. So the application, the documents you have to submit are very similar, and our eligibility specialist will make sure you're routed the right way, and that way you don't have to worry about which program you apply for. But for example, if you knew that you've just moved into the city of Houston last year, then you would know you wouldn't be eligible for the Harvey Homebuyer Assistance Program. Moving on to the right column, we have our newest program for down payment assistance, which is the Homebuyer Choice Program. This is in partnership with the Houston Community Land Trust, and it's very unique due to that. And it's also a program where we can provide up to $150,000 in a subsidy amount. So what this does is if you are looking for a home and that home is located in an area that's zoned to an A or B ranked school, you can get up to $150,000. If not, you're eligible for up to $100,000. What's further unique about this program is the land under the home is placed in the land trust. So you will own the property that, for example, this house here, but the land that it sits on is placed in trust with the land trust, and there's a restrictive covenant put into that home, which amongst other things says if and when you would like to sell that home, you sell it to someone who's also at 80% area median income or below. So it's a way of making sure that the property is affordable for in the future. So again, a very unique program. It's our newest one, and it's picking up a lot of steam. And if you have any questions beyond that, which I'm sure you do, I'm happy to answer that at the end. If you click on this, just to let you know, it's going to take you to the Land Trust webpage, and you'll be working with them to apply if this is the program you're interested in. And finally, we have these two programs. These are the same program, just different options for buying a home. This is the New Home Development Program. So in the programs we just discussed, you would shop around for a home throughout the city of Houston, and you would purchase whatever home that you feel is appropriate, that is within your financial means. With the New Home Development Program, we've partnered with the Houston Land Bank and various developers to build brand new homes throughout the city of Houston. And then there are two options available to purchase these brand new homes within the New Home Development Program. The first is the traditional option, and that's what you think of typically when you buy a home. You're buying the home and you're buying the land underneath it. With this program, you get up to $50,000 in down payment assistance. And the other thing to again remember is that because we are constructing these homes from the ground up, there's a more limited stock, and they are in certain neighborhoods, of course, because we are building homes from scratch. The income requirements will be again at 80% area median income or below. Within the same program, we also have the land trust option. And what that does is instead of a direct down payment assistance, the land itself goes under trust. And because you're only buying the structure, the home on top of it, you can purchase that home traditionally for anywhere between the range of $70,000 to $85,000. So it's a cheaper option, but you will not get direct down payment assistance, and you would not own the land underneath the home itself, but you would also be able to own the property on top of it and make improvements. You are the homeowner. I want to emphasize that for both of the land trust options. You own the home. You are not leasing, but you would it would be a much cheaper overall in terms of what you'd have to bring to the table, anywhere between $70,000 to $85,000. So I know that was a lot of information at the end of the webinar. I do want to just give a couple of important tips while you're, if you're thinking about using any of these down payment assistance programs, questions that come up a lot. We will not ask for credit scores as part of these programs. So any City of Houston down payment assistance program, we will not ask your credit score. But just to be clear, your credit score will of course impact your ability to secure a fixed rate mortgage, and that fixed rate mortgage is a requirement. But we won't ask you if your score is above or below a certain number. Another thing to keep in mind is the application process typically takes between 6 to 8 weeks for our programming. So please keep that in mind as you're shopping for homes and putting that calendar together with a realtor. And also keep in mind that 6 to 8 week time frame begins from the point of time that you submit all of your required documents. Another question we get is, when should you put a home under contract? And I cannot emphasize this enough. We strongly recommend that you do not do that until you have received a pre-approval letter from the city. We've had people in the past put a home under contract and they really wanted to use any of these programs to help them pay down the final cost, and it puts them at risk of losing earnest money. So again, please, if you are going to use these programs, do not put a home under contract until you've received a pre-approval letter from us. Finally, another question we get a lot is there a max home price? The answer to that is no. The buyer can select a home that fits their needs and their budget. We do have systems in place in terms of checking debt to income ratio, but in terms of if you wanted to buy a home at a certain dollar figure, no, as long as you can afford it and it's within your budget. And with that, I think, hand it back to Latasha, because I know we have, I'm sure, a ton of questions in the chat for all the presenters.
Yes, we do, Jeremiah. And actually, I'm going to start with you. Let me pull it up one more time. The question that was written down was, what is the number of applicants per year? And of those, how many get approved through the City of Houston Down Payment Assistance Program?
So what I'll do after the fact is we do have a monthly report. It's actually on the Homebuyer page down here, and it talks a little bit more about our programs. So if you want to look at that this link and scroll to the very bottom, we have year-to-date information, and then we have total starts from the beginning of the programs. It's both programs, the Harvey and the regular. We've had 661 families close and that has almost led to $20 million in down payment assistance. Off the top of my head, I don't know how many folks apply every year, so I'd have to get back to you on that.
All right. Okay. We will definitely make sure that we get that answer for the person that ask that particular question. The next question I have is for Agape program. On your particular program for a two-story home, to have two-story home.
Mhm.
Hold on a second. On the Agape program for the two-story home, to have a floor plan.
Oh, I think I see the question. Do they? I think
Um,
she meant, do they have a floor plan with the master bedroom
Yeah,
downstairs?
downstairs.
We don't currently, but that is one of the things that we are working on.
Okay.
So we could in the near future.
Okay. For Agape, what is the price for a 3-bedroom home?
Okay, so our home, like I mentioned before, we're selling them at cost, and then we're taking 30,000 off. And so all of the prices that we have are estimates, because it's going to depend on which lot you have, how much we bought the land for, things like that. But our 3-bedroom homes are going anywhere between 175 and 200,000 right now.
Pedro, did you see any of the questions?
Yes, there's a question for the 5-star. It said, can the 5-star program be combined with the Houston down payment assistance program or mortgage credit certificate program?
Well, this is Rhonda. I would love to answer that question
Okay.
because that's a fun question, and I love that question. So I did write down, that was Francisco Ledesma
Okay.
that asked that question. And Francisco, if you're there, if you will put your email address in the chat box. I have some really cool Seth swag I'd like to send your way for asking questions. Because when you ask, we all learn more, right? Because we all love the questions. But the answer is yes. So you can combine us with any available program. You combine the MCC, with any available program. You can do it without a program. But yeah, we don't restrict that. The only exception to that would be if it is a bond program. So if it is a bond program, you can't combine a bond program with an MCC program. Other than every now and then TDHCA will put out a bond program. None of the other programs that are out there right now, I'm not aware of anybody that has a bond program. So there's not a program I can say, watch out for this one, watch out. So yeah, definitely you can combine us with any program. They've got to meet guidelines, right? So I mean, and I think the question was, and I'm going to try to see if I can pull it up real fast. I think the question was about the City of Houston program. So the only overlay to that would be location of the home. So I don't have, my MCC does not cover the City of Houston, right? So you need to meet MCC guidelines in addition to the program guidelines. So you want to watch those areas. But if you can't use my MCC, there's a statewide MCC that's available. It's not free, but it's still valuable. So I mean, please look at an available MCC. If it's not my free Seth one, there is another one out there. The state of Texas, TDHCA, has a great one as well.
Good. There's another question. So this one's being asked, how long does the person have to remain below the income maximum level for the Agape program? So say if they get in at one rate, do they have to stay below the area median income, or once they get their home, can they go ahead and make more money in the future? Is that okay?
Yes, they can make more money in the future, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's going to be the same for the Seth program as well. I mean, your income is at time of qualification. It's not measured after that.
Okay.
Okay, for the City of Houston, regarding the City of Houston down payment program, does an applicant receive the full 30,000, or is there a percentage that is given?
The full 30,000 is transferred to the lender when the closing is done. If there's any confusion on that, there might be confusion in terms of how it's forgiven. basically every year, it's a 5-year forgivable lien. So every year, 20% of that $30,000 is forgiven. So if you have to move out after 2 years, 40% of that 30,000 is forgiven, and then by the end of the 5 years, that is completely forgiven. But no, at the time of closing, the entire $30,000 is wired.
Okay, so the $30,000, can I use that on anything? Can I use it to help me pay commission for my realtor?
Not for your realtor, but if you go to the, that is another FAQ question we get a lot. And so if you scroll down to the very, very bottom, we have, where's that question? What can the assistance be used for? We spell it out pretty clearly. Realtors commissions and cashback is strictly forbidden with those programs. But you could use it for down payment, prepaid items like insurance, and these other items here. So thank you for that. That's a good question.
All right. This one is for, I just saw a new one, but I can't see it anymore. Pedro, can you see the last question that came through?
Let me double check. I do have a quick question that I was asked was, how much money can someone have in the bank, or does it matter once they apply for the program? Now, are they limited? Say they have 20,000 in the bank, could they still apply for the program?
If you're asking,
It's open to anyone. Yes, because
Okay.
it's basically for any of the guest speakers.
Yeah, if we can ask all of them, that would be good.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, go ahead.
no, go ahead,
No,
Ron.
that was basically the question. How much money can someone have in the bank, or is there a limit to their liquid assets or different things like that?
Well, for Seth, we're going to be the quickest. We don't have a requirement for assets. So there's no asset test for Seth.
Okay, good.
Good.
And for Hap?
For the city of Houston, it depends on the program, and I know that's always a non-satisfying answer. It depends. So, for example, the traditional homebuyer assistance program, this one here, does have a limit, and I believe it's $15,000 in savings where you're disqualified. That isn't the case for Harvey. There is one for Homebuyer's Choice. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So it depends, but we do spell that out in our guidelines. So if any of these programs are something the folks that are here are interested in, we do put that in there, the exact dollar figure.
Oh, thank you. One of the questions that I see is, for Agape, what's the square footage range for the lots available?
So our lots are standard size lots for our community. They're about this is an average, obviously, but about 5,000 square feet.
This question is for Jeremiah. For the choice program, if a particular person is living in a home, say something happens to that person, and God forbid, death, how would that be handled? Would they just lose the home, or will it transfer to someone?
Yeah, that's a great question. In that unfortunate circumstance, the home can be transferred down through inheritance, where whoever takes, if that wasn't spelled out in a will, then the family would be able to, however they want to come together and either decide to sell it or pass it on to someone else in the family.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, they're texting me over here as well. Would student loans affect the individual trying to buy the home? Will student loans affect them in any way? It's probably it's open for any of the guests. Thank you.
It's part of the calculation of debt to income ratio.
Okay.
So that one's going to be highly dependent on what's going on with that individual's circumstance and their overall debt to income ratio for our programs.
Okay. Thank you.
So just having student loans will not disqualify you. It just depends on what that ratio is.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question for Agape and City of Baytown and Seth. I know that there is a requirement, the 8-hour class, but addition to that, for an individual to prepare and to understand what to expect with home ownership, do you all have classes that your participants can take?
For Seth, we're going to require the completion of our Seth Online Homebuyer Education course. It is available in English and Spanish, and you can access the class at one of our websites, either our program websites, and that would be the Seth 5-star or SethGoldStar.com websites, or our main website, SethFC.com. Either one of those websites do have the same homebuyer education class, again, English and Spanish, and you take it at your own pace.
All right, all right. Okay, what about Agape Development?
Yeah, so for us, we do have a requirement to take the first-time homebuyers education course. We don't offer it at Agape, but we have, different partners like the NRCDC, Avenue CDC, Credit Coalition, some others that offer it as well. And so we ask for people to take the same. It's actually, it will qualify you too. He mentioned for the City of Houston's down payment assistance program, which is compatible with our program as well. You could do both.
All right. So what did we hear from City of Baytown?
No, ma'am. We are just like Agape. We currently do not provide any additional courses. We partner with the Tejano Center for Community Concerns, and they're the ones that provide our home buyers with the required homebuyer education class.
All right.
Additionally, we're willing to work with anyone because we actually will pay and cover the costs as long if the center does decide to, or the teacher or the class decides to write an invoice to the City of Baytown, we'll cover that for the applicant.
Oh, that is good to know. Awesome. I guess some people are considering Baytown now. Okay, so do we have any other questions, Pedro, in the chat? You're muted.
Hi, I hate to interrupt, but I tried to write in the chat and I couldn't write. I just wanted to know if there's how can I reach out to Miss Rhonda Smith? I mean Mitchell through email.
Hey.
I believe that Miss Rhonda, did you put your email in the chat?
I did. Is that Becky that asked that question?
No, Zenaida.
Okay, hey, Zenaida. Yeah, my email address, I just put it in the chat box. I apologize. I was answering Becky in the chat there. My email address is rmitchell at
Okay.
sethtexas.com, SETH Or you can go to our website, and on the website you can access me there too. I'm in the contact us section of every website you can go to. You can find me. So you can visit SethFC.com or Seth5star.com or SethGoldStar.com, and you can get my contact information there too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Hey, no problem.
So do we have anyone else that have questions? Maybe it wasn't written in the chat. The floor is open. You can ask your question.
I saw one question in the chat about preferred lenders, and I don't know if that was for all of us or We don't have preferred lenders per se. When you go to the Harvey Homebuyer Assistance Program page, if you scroll down to find a realtor right here, we have a list of realtors and lenders that have gone through our training, webinar training on this program. We're not saying you have to use them. We're just saying that they have gone through that training. And I can also say for the Homebuyer's Choice program, because of its uniqueness of putting their land in trust, they do have a list of lenders that are required to go through that. And that's because they have very specific training around that product and have the product to do that. So I hope that helps. So this is the only program where we have required lenders, and then otherwise you can use whatever product, loan product you are able to get.
And this is Rhonda with Seth. I apologize, guys. I'm going to have to get off the call. But I wanted to let y'all know that if you do need suggestions for lenders, we've got a lender list on our website for participating lenders for our programs, and they are marked by top producers, right? And that's, of course, you're working with those top producers, working with somebody that is experienced and can really share those options and help you find the best fit for your family. So I do encourage you to take a look at that list, or if you need a referral to someone in your area, you can always email me. I keep a hot list at my desk, and that is a list, again, of our top loan officers that do these programs and do them really well. And you're going to find that a lot of these loan officers, when they work with one program, they kind of work with all of them. So, again, those top producers, they are a really good resource for you. So email me if you do need a referral to someone in your area. But hey, I thank y'all so much, and I hate to go, but you be sure and email me if you need me, guys, okay?
Yes,
and have a good night.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. We are almost finished. Thank you, Rhonda. You have a blessed night. Everyone, we just want to let you know about the events that we have coming up. We do at the City of Houston, there is a requirement, like everyone said, the 8-hour class for the Homebuyers Assistance programs. However, part of our outreach is to find programs, to do programs that will help you and benefit you and create success for you instead of failure. We want you to go into home ownership knowing what you need, what to expect, how to budget. So these things are programs that we talked about. The 360 Road to Home Ownership is a series that, like I stated before, we just finished last week. We will be doing this series again, teaching you about credit, knowing your credit, how to budget, what to expect when you're going to be a homeowner. Also, creating the best team for yourself. Finding a realtor that will assist you, finding an inspector. These are individuals, professionals that you would need to be on your team to create a healthy and easy process for home ownership. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to upcoming events and give it over to Becky, our community liaison.
Okay, our upcoming outreach event will be our virtual lunch and learn on September the 24th, 2021, from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The topic will be homelessness, awareness, prevention, and transitional housing. Please join.
All right. So we only have one event coming up this month. We're going to take a rest and we're going to begin again in October for our series. Also, I want you to be on the watch on our website. You can get all these events. We will have a college edition to 360 Road to Home Ownership. So if you have a college student that is in the area of the City of Houston and outside of the City of Houston, you may want your child to, your young adult to participate in this particular series. I guarantee you will benefit and they will benefit also. So I will close it out since our manager, administrative manager is not here. We like to thank you for taking out the time to be here. I hope that you received something or you heard something that will help you, will benefit you, your family, and overall your community. So you all have a blessed night, and I hope to see each and every one of you in a home as well as at our next event. So thank you so much, and you all have a blessed night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.